All right, Pin Tactician. It's absolutely insanely good. If you haven't been on the live streams and seen my early build videos, I'm about to pop a tier 4 map to show you. This is Corrupt +1 level. We're just gonna do, I don't know, we'll just do a base one because whatever at the moment. I just want to show you how it works. I think I have some boss footage. I'll show with that. Basically, the idea is pin everything immediately so they can't move. And same with bosses. I'm still working on what I need to get the bosses kind of to the spot where I need. I hate this map, but for the most part, this build is doing really well. Look at that. They're all pinned. All dead. Everything, like when you pop an essence, they die immediately. When you do Strongboxes, nothing can move. Enemies that come in and out of the ground, they get pinned halfway coming out or into the ground. It's just, and I got some other tricks up my sleeve. Oh, nice. That I'll show you once we get into like the meat of the build. But I've been having a lot of fun. I've had a lot of people say they've tried it and they're loving it. It's just cool. I didn't think the Tactician was going to be this good with the pin build up, but it turned out to be really fun. We did a trial of the Secumus, trial of the Sugmas, I don't know what you call it, yesterday. It was the best run I've ever had. We had some of the greatest boons and it was just a smooth run. Everything got pinned immediately. All the bosses died within like not even 5 seconds. And keep in mind, we're only level, I think, like 75, so we still got a ways to go. We do have a really good weapon. I did get a really good roll on a weapon, so that is helping for sure. I got my resistances up. They're not perfect, and it's just a good time, man. As you can see, like, you never get hit at all. You just don't. Nothing can touch you. I've got really good life regen. I can still get one once I get another greater jeweler's orb. I'll be able to get another 1% life regen. I don't think I have it. Once I get one more level, I'll be able to get it on the skill tree for another 1%. But as you can see, we're gaining rage. Now watch this. We're gonna pop this. They're gonna spawn. They're gonna instantly be pinned. We're just gonna keep blasting. You're just gonna turn and shoot at everything that comes at you. As they come out of the ground, they're pinned. They're not doing anything. Look at this. I'll put my ballistas back out. It's that easy. Now that one wasn't like super aggressive or anything, but this build allows you to pop your totems and then just stand there. Nothing moves, you know? It's crazy. It's crazy. So let's kill this last mob and then, you know, we'll go. We also got grenades if you want to use them. The new skill support gem on it. But yeah, that's that. I'll show up some bosses real quick and then we'll get into the build.
Yeah, we'll get it this time. All right, that should be good. See, it jammed up. Okay, he did get pinned. Perfect. Okay, so it was just my my rip wires go away because he has such a long animation to start up. So yeah, that's the goal, right? That's the goal. Come at me. Let's go. Come on. Losing my rage? No? There we go. Come on. That like wasn't shooting. Do you see what I mean? How it only locks up when I'm in a boss battle? I switched to shock burst and it's like it's jammed. I don't. It's got to be a bug. They fixed it months, you know, like 2 months ago. She couldn't even. She flew at us. She got pinned and she got killed immediately. Stupid, dude. This. You know, if you're melee, you got to wait for it to circle around, do some crazy shit. Then you got to go to the second phase. Nah. Easy, dude. It's so stupid. This build is retarded. Oh my, that's what I'm saying, Soul. Like, she had no chance. She got blasted with a railgun. And then, you know, screw you, you witch dummy on your broomstick. Chain that bitch to the ground. You ain't going anywhere. Where you going, huh? Where you going? You ain't moving, boy. We locked you down in a little triangle. Ooh-wee.
All right, perfect. We got a blacksmith strong box here. All right, we'll place our totems down. We'll let our rage get up a little bit, just because we're going to be guarded by 35 packs of monsters. All right, show you guys how easy this is. Ready? Oh, we put some blood in it, huh? You're just going to stand here and blast. It's that easy. Nothing's going to hit you. Refresh my totems. Nothing over there. There, they're dead. Next wave. You know what I mean? Everything gets pinned. Everything gets locked out of attacking you. It's just, that's it. There it is. See how easy that is? It's crazy. All right, so the main parts of this build are you do lightning damage, you do pin build up, and you double your attack. And you have your totems gain aggro and basically pin enemies. Now, right out of the gate, your ripwire ballistas here, your totems, do 600% pin build up. Okay, now with what we have on the ascendancy nodes and this passive tree, we get an extra 100, so that puts that at 700. With gem quality at level 20, you get an extra 50%, so that puts you at 750% pin buildup on these totems. Pretty much one hit, that's it. Enemies stun locked. Bosses, it'll take, you know, 1 or 2 shots plus what you're doing. But basically, I still have a few things I'm gonna have to work on and add. Like, you can put pin build up on emeralds that you put in your passive tree. As long as I can put 20, 20, 20, I can get another 60%. It should be right about what I need to fully get this build going on like the armored bosses. But as you can see, we have 44 rage. We don't have the normal 30, we have 44. So what that does is puts our DPS at 18,323. Without this, it's around 9,200. So our totems at full rage completely double our DPS. Now, on top of doubling our DPS, I don't think I have it yet. I do. So we get 30% increased mana regen rate all the time. 30% accuracy. And we're getting minions deal 30% increased damage while you're not on full mana. So our totems do more damage when, I mean, as soon as you put them out, you're not on full mana. And you spam 3 out real quick and then you start blasting, you're never at full mana. So constant buff on them. We get cannibalism, 2% of maximum life recovered on kill. Huge to keep us alive because we don't have a lot of life. We don't have energy shield. So this is big. And then we also have vitality, which is 1% regenerate 1% of maximum life. And the next passive I'm going to grab is going to be regenerate 1% of maximum life per second while you have a totem, and then totems generate 3% of their maximum life. So that's going to be nice. But if you look, we're at 78.9 life recovery per second, pretty massive. Plus we get the 2% per kill, which that's another 28. So, and then our mana is at 53.3 regen. Mana consumption is a problem with this build. There is a new spirit gem called Mana Remnant. Now my intelligence is way too low to use this. At a level 14 spirit gem, each remnant gains like 132 mana. And as long as they're about to change this, so it does it with every element, but right now it only goes off of shock damage. So if you are running more intelligence and you can do this and you're running out of mana a lot, use this. It's it overcapture mana. Whatever you pick up, these little bubbles, it overcaps. And there's 2 support gems that you can get at another like 50-some%. So for us being so low, because this is only a level 4 spirit gem, we would have gotten like 50 mana per pop. But it does overflow your mana. Like I was up to like 800 some mana with these alone, and it's nice. But now that I have the support gem that my ballistas do more damage while I'm not on full mana, you know, plus it being so low, it's not going to do anything, but an option. So yeah, so on top of us having all this rage, let me get it back up here. When you switch ammunition, you get an extra 25% damage. So right now we're only running the lightning skills, so we only have 3, so 75% damage. Not bad. All right, our rage is back up. We'll switch between them here. Okay. All right, now let's look. Now we're at 22,000 base DPS. Now, mind you, we still got our gems are only level 16. So we got 15 and 16. We got to get those up. We're missing support gems for damage. We got a lot we can do here. Okay, but for the most part, that's not bad. Like I'll let my rage disappear and I'll show you base DPS. Now base DPS. Okay, they should have fell off. Yeah, our base DPS is 9,357, which is still good, but yeah. So for bosses, if you saw at the beginning, you basically put your totems down and you creep into the room and then you blast them with a plasma blast. They're pinned, they're shocked, and then shock burst, you DPS them down. Now, I do have lockdown on for extra pin buildup, since this is what we're using against bosses, because the idea is we want the bosses to be just full pinned, can't move, and then they're dead, right? They're going to come off that initial pin before you can kill them, but the thing with this is you get an extra 120% more pin buildup, but they have to be within 2 meters of you, scaling to no change at 12 meters. So if you're right up on them, you're going to get the 120%. If you're a little bit further back, you're only going to get like 80, 70, 60%. So keep that in mind when you're doing that. You're like, oh, well, yours pins immediately, mine doesn't. You got to be right on his dick, all right? So, but yeah, that's pretty much how this build works. I do have pretty good evasion. If you look, my evasion is 52% right now, 2996. Watch this, ready? I'll do a roll, loop. 59% at 3,770. We just gained 800 evasion. Okay, so I have you know, I'm spec'd into that, which is kind of cool. Evasion is big in this game. Armor's dookie still. Yeah, make sure you're pumping resistances. But yeah, so outside of that, that's pretty much how the build works. And the Tactician, though, we had an insane Trial of the Sekimas run yesterday. And I got 2 more points, so I got 8% increased spirit, and all of our spirit gems cut in half. It's crazy. If I have more skill slots, I would run another one because I have it, but I'll put, I guess, 1 more support gem that costs spirit. But this allows me to run 3 of these with a bunch of support gems, and I still have room for 1 more 15 cost. It's kind of crazy. So you could use Tactician to do like a full spirit gem build. It could be kind of wild because the reservations are cut in half. But yeah, that's it. So go over the skills. Okay, galvanic shards. You're gonna put, god damn it, you're gonna put martial tempo. Now keep in mind, this is like early maps, okay? This isn't like end game. We're still going to change it, but transitioning from our last build guide of Cruel coming into maps, this will get you going for like the first, probably up to tier 10, honestly, if you get good enough gear. Martial tempo, conduction, because we want to be shocking all the time, and close combat, especially because most of these enemies leap at you and they're right on you and your totem, so you want to do extra damage to them. Then you're going to get shock burst rounds, fresh clip, lockdown, primal armament, and concentrated effect. Plasma blast. This is what you open up with your boss. So you got your longer shock duration. You're doing more magnitude shock, and it also pins the enemy immediately. So lasting shock, Hourglass, and Overcharge, Rip Wire, your lovely little totems. These guys are awesome. Basically, you're going to put Ancestral Urgency so you can place them down super fast. Font of Rage, this is what gains our rage. Now, this will only take you to 30 rage. Once we get to the passive tree, you'll see why we have 44. And then Font of Blood. And actually, once I get a Greater Jeweler's Orb or a Perfect, whatever, I'm going to put Font of Mana on this, which also is another 30% mana recovery per second. So basically, your totem is buffing your life regen, your mana regen, and giving you double DPS. And on top of that, it's pinning everything before it even gets to you. It's crazy. And once we get a little bit further, we get another Ascendancy, and we get a few more nodes. The attack speed and skill speed is going to go up by like, I think 36%. So they're just going to be like, instead of blop, blop, they're going to be like blop, blop, blop. It's just going to be even crazier. It's going to be even crazier. Okay. So that's what we're running on that. Explosive grenades. If you want, you can take this out and run another Spirit Gem if you really want to mess with it. But I kind of like having these on some of the rares that are a little tanky. You can just blow them, you know. But this does big damage, so I got Scatter Shot on this. If you've seen my past builds with the rail, how I had like the railgun builds, Scatter Shot will go boom, 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 like 3 big beams. Now it fires 3 mini beams in a cone, and it doesn't do any more damage. Like, you know, it does 65% damage per hit. So technically you're doing almost twice the damage of the skill, right? You'd like 180%. But with this, it just goes off once and it's just less damage. They nerfed it unless it's bugged. I don't know. But Scatter Shot is on grenades now. We have Expedite, 40% less detonation time, so they blow up faster. And this one, I remove grenades. I don't think this was a thing. I think this is a new support gem, but Payload. This took our cooldown from like 5 seconds up to 16 seconds, but it's fine. You're not spamming grenades all the time. So you have a big cooldown, but they activate a second time for a 50% chance. So basically, if they go and they just explode, boom. This time they go boom, boom. Like they'll double explode for extra damage. It's insane. It's really good to have. Emergency Reload. While you are DPSing a boss or a rare with your Shock Burst rounds, press this. It'll empower them with more damage. You'll know because on the clip on your ability bar, it'll turn yellow to let you know it's empowered. This is big. So this gives us alone 26% more damage plus this. So we're at 41% more damage when we pop this. Lower cooldown on this, and Murderous Intent gives us Culling Strike when we're using this on whatever skill we use. So that's nice. And then Herald of Thunder. Must have. We got Deadly Herald. This is a new one. Supported skills deal 30% more damage. It costs 20 spirit. We got Leverage. Since we are pinning, that is immobilized. So supported skills have 50% increased critical hit chance against immobilized enemies. Everything the Herald touches is immobilized. So it's just a constant 50% crit chance. And then this is new as well, Bone Shrapnel. Supported skills cannot cause pin buildup. That's fine. It's not a projectile. So under our Ascendancy, only projectiles are helping gain pin. So this is not going to pin anyway. So this triggers Bone Shrapnel explosions on killing pinned enemies. So if you look closely when your lightning's hitting, you'll see like big like femurs and shit go flying. I think it does 25% damage, or 25% of their HP is damage. Yeah. So it's hard to say how much damage it's doing, but it doesn't cost any spirit. It's free. It works with our build, so we might as well. I mean, you're zapping enemies and then something's in the group and a bunch of them get hit in the head with some bones for 25% of whoever's life. I mean, if it's working as intended, it's doing extra damage, so we're going to keep it. I swapped out for Wind Dancer. I got rid of the Herald of Blood. The Wind Dancer gives us 3 stacks, 3 stages of evasion. This is a good boost to evasion. And you're going to run Clarity, so we always have 30% mana regen. And Precision, so we always get the accuracy rating. And then this is the new one that's going to help buff your rage. So not only are we getting up to 44 rage, which is 44% extra attack damage, this increases your rage effect by 43%. And if you get the gem quality up, it's going to be at 53%. So we're going to get a little bit more damage once we get up there. So only downside to this is you lose 0.1% of maximum life per rage per second while not losing rage. So while you're gaining rage and you're keeping your rage, you're losing 0.1% of your life per second. But with all the HP regeneration and grants 0.2% of physical leech life. So as long as you're attacking, and even if you're standing still, it really doesn't move. It'll click 1 below your max, literally 1 point below your max, and just stay there. It's really not a bad thing at all, right? So it just makes us stronger with our totems, right? And then I have upwelling. I did check on the advanced tab. It does make our totem damage go up. Minions is one of those things where it's like sometimes the minion abilities and skills give us damage on our totems, some don't. It's just one of those things, right? But this does. So I have that. I have cannibalism, 2% of maximum life recovered on kill, and I have vitality, regenerate 1% maximum life per second all the time. So those are the skills. Pretty darn good. All right, passive tree. As soon as you get your first 2 points, you're going to go into projectile damage builds pin. Then you're going to get pin enemies cannot perform actions. And then you're going to get increased spirit and a solid plan here. So your spirit gems have 50% less. And then after that, once you get your 7th, 8th, you're going to go for the totem. This absolutely sucks ass. There's no point in running it. Maybe end game, like when I'm 90, I'll pop it in and try it. But it was absolute dog shit. So we're going to go totem, skill, speed, and damage, so they'll make them even better. But this guide will be up on Mobilix if you just want to click on that and follow that. But basically, you're same thing. You're coming down, grabbing projectile damage, attack speed. You're going to run down. You're going to come down and grab these new nodes for the attack damage. You're going to get the movement and attack speed on kill. You're going to get this 70% crossbow reload speed. As far as emeralds go, you want anything that gives you crossbow damage, elemental damage, magnitude of shock, chance to shock, pin. Ideally, I'm going to have 3 emeralds that have 20% pin for an extra 60%, just so I can basically get them right back to it instantly. Come down. Whatever you got to grab to make your skills work, as far as, dex, strength, intelligence. You're going to grab all this attack speed right here because that's 16% attack speed. You're going to grab all this crossbow stuff. You're going to grab lightning rod. You're going to come over here and grab totem damage, +1 to totems. You're going to come up here and grab the extra rage, another emerald. Then you're going to come up here. You're going to grab another totem. So you have 3 totems. And then I'm going to be grabbing this, and I'm going to be grabbing most likely this. I don't know. I might hold off because it's really not that much attack speed. It'll make a difference, but we'll wait till we get the ascendancy. Grab that. And then as far as this, you're going to come up here. You're going to grab the 30% lightning damage. Come up here, grab the evasion. This is where you get an extra 40%. If you've rolled recently, that lasts every time you roll. That evasion buff lasts for 4 seconds. You're going to come up here, grab the pin build up. This is the only pin build up. That's extra 60%, and you get 5% increased movement speed every time you pin an enemy. And then you're going to also grab the projectile and attack speed. And this one, 33% increased damage with hits against enemies that are by ailments. Your shock is an ailment, so that's big. And that's going to do it for now. Now, as far as equipment, I'll show you what I have, but basically you're going to try to get as much resistance as you can. All right, as you can see, we're at 74, 69, 49, and 28. Plus we got the 18 on the charm. I think they're about to fix charms tonight, and they're going to make it so if you're at certain levels, you unlock more charm slots. So at level 65 and higher, you'll have all 3 charm slots. So I can equip 2 more charms, but they said like in their interview, it is that they're pretty much not working as intended. Biggest thing for survivability in maps is getting your resistances up. I cannot stress that enough. If you're taking a ton of damage, bump your resistances. You'll have a way better time. So keep that in mind with your gear. This isn't like final build gear. Put rune sockets in there, break down the gear that, you know, pick up gear that has sockets and quality, and you can really start getting artificer's orbs and put sockets on everything. But as far as crossbow, I got super lucky with this roll. 20 quality. We're doing big damage. I could do without the cold and the critical hit and damage bonus. You want fizz damage percentage. You want flat fizz, flat lightning, elemental damage, plus level to all skills, and those are pretty much the main ones that you want for damage. So as long as you keep rolling random bows, or you know, you get a bow that has a good stat, start crafting it to see what it turns into. You know, you might get lucky. As far as my helmet, I got whatever, you know, and now that we can change runes around, it's fucking amazing. Before, you know, you got a new piece of gear, you put a rune in it, that was it. Now we can switch them out. You lose the rune, but it's much easier now when we change gear around. Like, okay, well, this has more resistance. Now I need to switch the rune to this resistance. You can do that now. So basically, anything that's going to gain you mana and mana regen, you're going to want to go for, because mana consumption is crazy with this build, especially once you get up to over level 20. I have 683 evasion on this piece. Pretty nice. I also have big life regen. My gloves, lightning damage to attacks. These could definitely be upgraded, but for now, what we're rolling. Boots, you're going to want movement speed and whatever else you need. Belt, kind of doesn't really matter. Rings, I'm running, I just got all elemental resistances. I usually don't run that, but this is what I have for now. This ring, more life regen. I mean, that life roll's horrible. Cold resistance roll's kind of horrible, but you know, it is what it is. This is decent. It's giving me plus 20 to all attributes, plus 11 to intelligence, which gives us some more mana, and another boost to mana, and this mana regen rate for 44%. Absolutely massive. So yeah, that's pretty much the gear, whatever you want to get on your flasks, and I've got the amethyst charm for extra cast resistance. But that's it. That's it, and it's fun. Everything gets pinned, and it's only going to get better. Have a very easy time against bosses and everything else, and it's just, as soon as the boss pops, pinned, shocked, DPS them down. When they come off of pin, make sure your totems are still out. Like if you're building rage and the boss has a long animation, make sure, because the totems last 16 seconds. So you got a lot of time if you get them placed down, because basically when the boss comes off a pin, you're going to want to make sure your totems are still up, so they're shooting for that extra 600% pin on top of you hitting for pin, so the boss gets pinned instantly, and then on that second pin they should be dead if you're doing it right. So yeah, that's it. Early maps, let me know how you feel about the build. A lot of people have been liking this. It's really cool. Anyway, you know the drill. Subscribe, come back, see you on the next one.